Yeah, I'm a little bit behind on the agenda today because my computer was like really slow and I had to reboot and trying to figure out what was going on. So right when I was trying to edit the agenda, I got a lot of stuff in there, but okay, let's see here. Go share. Okay, so that's why I did that. Here we go. All right, so welcome everyone to the September 17th iteration of the MicroProfile live hangouts. A link to the meeting minutes is not in the chat yet, is it? Chat, and I'll paste it in. There we go. Link to the meeting minutes is in the chat. Please click on the link and add yourself as an attendee. Organization is optional. This call is being recorded and will eventually find its way onto YouTube. So, today's topics, I'm going to talk a little bit about the next steering committee call, MicroProfile 7.next. That's like, what's next, right? Let's see. The budget, figure out where we're at with the budget. So Emerson, I'm going to ping you on the status on that. And the 2025 program plan. I'm not sure down that. Yeah, so we're going to talk about all those things today. So first of all, Jan added a couple of things as he adding something. So we'll get to those hopefully as the call proceeds. Okay, so first of all, it kind of caught up on us again. We need a steering committee call technically by the end of the quarter, but the next live hangout is October 1st, which is technically next quarter. But we're going to cheat a little bit and just have it during the next October 1st call. So next call will be a steering committee call, and I'll send out notices, update the calendar, etc. So the two topics I think we're going to cover there are going, or three potentially, are going to be budget spend. We're going to talk a little bit about the 2024 program plan status and a little bit about the 2025 program plan prep. So I just forwarded, Sharon sent an email. I was out a lot of last week, some planned, some unplanned. So Sharon sent out an email to the steering committee email alias about the 2025 program plan preparation and all that stuff. I haven't looked at it yet. I just did a quick perusal. I did forward it to the MicroProfile working group alias. So we should be able to see that. Maybe do some work throughout the next 2 weeks to kind of prep for that. And sorry, like I said, I actually haven't hit send yet. There. So there, now I just sent the email to the working group alias. I haven't seen it, looked at the dates yet, but just be aware that we're going to have to get on it.
We are not late on it. Sorry,
Oh,
John.
thank you.
We're not late.
Yeah.
No, I checked it on Monday, and it's just October. But it's nice for us to talk about it right now, to have everything set up and start running.
Okay. So we'll talk about that during the next steering committee call. That's primarily it. So for MicroProfile releases, now that we've successfully released 7.0, question, what about 7.next? Likely a 7.1. Do we have planned spec updates? I think there might be a JWT update that we were thinking about. I'm trying to just do this from memory. Does anyone on the call involved with the spec teams have any planned updates? Hopefully by before the end of the calendar year. So this doesn't have to be a major release.
We can do health probably for that one.
Okay, and we don't have to get into the details of that. Do you have a Git issue for 4.1 anywhere?
Well, I'm on my phone walking the dog, so probably have to do the call.
Okay.
John, my recommendation on this one, because it's technical and it's always the same. Can we send can someone send a message to the community and add the working group alias and say, we're preparing, let's prepare and decide on MP7.x. What do we want to add to it? And then
Yeah,
just have the thread and the discussion. Can we do that? Or
yeah, that's fine.
we can do,
Like I said, I just thought of
Yeah.
this as I was preparing for the agenda, right? So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So we can do that.
Yeah, I think probably it's better to be discussed on the technical call. By the way, also, I think before we do all this, we need to find out which basically runtime gear up for this 7.x as a ratifying implementation. I don't think Liberty will be in the position to do that end of this year. So if there's some other implementation, can do the basically certifying and etc. So that's fine. So I just want to heads up.
also, Emily, you totally are amazing on this. Currently, there is only one implementation compatible with MP7. So we implementers had to catch up on their own speed, but I see it. We will talk about creating more technology that some of us cannot adapt. And clearly each member, each company that can adapt uses their own priorities to do so and adapt technologies across. So this is something we cannot dictate, of course, but we need to be cautious on, what features would implementers like to see, if we are collaborating. It's just a complicated topic. This is why I'm saying, let's send the email and say that it's currently only one implementation. That's it. Don't call anyone out. And then we say, what do we want to add? If we open it up, I would recommend that maybe some of us will say, hey, what about X? And we will be sometimes maybe more compelled to adopt the technology. I do not know. I'm just browsing here, but I believe in writing emails, especially for technical conversations.
The other thing is also, I think is when it's closer to the program plan, we need to really seriously think about how to make a MicroProfile exciting. If it's just adding kind of a little bit to come up with another release, this will make a very dull release. Just to say, okay, we add this little bit and come up with release. I kind of against the idea just release for the SQL release.
Correct. Me too. This is why.
Yeah.
That's always a fair point.
Yeah.
But me being who I am, I do want to kind of move things forward.
Yeah.
So, so valid point. If we can't get it done by the end of this calendar year, just because we want to meet the 2 per year, I understand. But again, I'm just trying to move things forward. So let's see how the discussion goes and see what comes up.
Yeah, and just to mention, we are looking for compatible implementations for each component spec that wants to release an update. And of course, at the end, we need one for the umbrella spec too. But we can do an update of a component spec without doing an update of the umbrella spec in the worst case. Or do that update on the umbrella spec later when it's worth to do it. But
yeah, we have never
my
done
perspective,
that.
Yeah, having an umbrella spec minor release when there is a good reason for including a component spec update, that's enough to do it or give that reason, because that's what the promise of MicroProfile is. Yeah, doing small releases in small steps, and maybe that's also easier to follow up for implementators, because then the umbrella spec release only contains changes for at least one component spec that getting a minor update. So it should be possible. Yeah.
I mean, the whole idea of MicroProfile was to have a release train and release whatever is ready. It isn't necessarily about having these big bang releases. We have had releases going back. God, I can't remember. Is it 3.x or 4.x, we've had releases that just had one spec update because that's all that
Yes.
was ready at that release train moment. So, but we still have to have a compatible implementation, right, at the platform level if we want to do that. So
Yeah.
if Open Liberty wouldn't be ready, you know, if somebody were to implement a spec, then just a minor update, like Jan was mentioning, we can release a spec without having to release an umbrella. We could do that, but the interesting question would be, would that implementation also support the rest of MicroProfile? If they already support the rest of MicroProfile, then a 7.1 release, let's say, right, with a component spec update and a platform update to 7.1 probably wouldn't be all that different, except for running the tests at the platform level.
Technically speaking, there wouldn't be any breach, right? Because all of it will be continuous. We use the transitive that is interchangeable. We can use every API. Well, you always correct me on this. Every specification can be run as a standalone, right? So we haven't done one of these for a year.
I think we should box this. I disagree with that. I don't really want to shortcut and said, okay, pass this. So there's the integration point. Is sometimes they don't work together. We need to clearly cannot basically do what is required. When we say we do the MicroProfile 7.1, we need to make sure the one implementation can, like a runtime, pass all of them. It's not like we keep on going and eventually find out they are not compatible.
Yeah, they need to be compatible.
But I think we should we have many items. I think we just get into the technical details. I think it's fine to bring this up, and then we should continue the discussion on the technical points.
Sorry guys, on the mailing list, please. We have 1,200 plus active people there. We want their feedback. We want to create the technology not only for ourselves. We want to hear feedback. So write it out to get feedback, right? Let's expand the scope, please, especially technically speaking.
All right, so we'll cover it in the group's mailing list and in the next technical call. So if you could add that as a item, Emily, for the next technical call.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. The next one we have, this came up yesterday during the marketing call, but well, excuse me, Emily, do you want to discuss the CCR approval process?
Yeah.
Review process.
Yeah. So basically, Payara is done something amazing. Basically, they kind of Luis is here. So it sounds like every release you will run through all the TCK and then certify against the MicroProfile kind of the versions, right? Luis?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, so but it's kind of so far, because the review the CCRs is pretty much like pretty much silent. Is most of them CCR record fall into the 2-week kind of the silence period, and then is automatically approved. So I think is kind of now is there's over 40 open issues. So it's just these issues is all of them from Payara. So it's like Payara, the submitter has to go through to close them and self-approve them. So my proposal is we should have been more proactive. So if some issues, CCR issues raised, we should encourage more and more runtime to file the CCRs. And then we should be kind of actively look at the CCR and provide feedback. If everything looks good, approve them. So I have started kind of the quick Slack conversation today to see whether we could add this task, like approve, review these CCR issues to the kind of the our committee rep. So this year is Emerson. So this is one of the proposal. Maybe it's some other proposal is if we have other volunteers, is okay. We have maybe a few people come together, is take turns or help out to be in charge of the CCRs. So I just open for the conversation, discussion here. I saw Emerson is on the call. So Emerson, what your thought on this? Do you think it makes sense for the committee rep to review the CCRs? If they are good, you approve them and then move on. Then the submitter can go ahead to add their product into basically file a request to add the product to the compatible pages.
Yeah, I think it's viable. The only thing is I was asking in the chat earlier if the only task to be reviewing or verifying would be the one that the public URL for the TCK results are okay and everything is passed. So if that is something, that is the only thing we are ambition to approve, to accept the compatibility, I think is pretty viable, and I could help with that. But if the thing goes to technical, maybe we need additional roles and additional people to.
Yes, so it's just like review the CCRs. So basically, and review the tests and then test result. We post the
I will interject here.
Okay.
I really like this topic that Emily brought yesterday to the marketing call. And this was my feedback. And Emerson, good point. Lower to entry is also applicable to the committee rep. When my recommendation, and John also, I think, pulled this out, in the marketing side, we have stewards by month. And the idea that the committer would have to be knowledgeable on all the implementers testing and things like this, that takes an incredibly amount of effort, learning not only the code, but the test, everything. So it's possible, but it will take a long time to consume. And it's not a task for one person. People take vacations. So John and I agreed in the level of thoughtfully brainstorming that if other technical members in this call, and maybe we should send this in the community forum, agreed, we could do maybe 3 microprofilers a quarter that are listed in this spreadsheet as we have in the marketing side. And when a CCR comes in, any of them or all of them can work and review it. And hopefully the microprofiler in 1 month, aside from the rep, the committee rep, cannot repeat itself, so that there is an iterable, knowledgeable community integrating itself to the task and diversifying the work. It's really, in my view, unfair to us, just the committer, because the amount of work that Emerson would have to learn is too much. And if I know Edwin that is not in this call, he will be, I'm not coming next year because it's too much work. We want committers to be excited to participate. And the lower to the barrier to enter, that is number 7, and the working group as the pillars of MicroProfile must stand even for this task. So this is my feedback. But I think Oracle is here, Payara is here, iJag is here. Can we hear from you, MicroProfiler?
Yeah, Jan, go ahead.
Yeah, I think maybe instead of adding tasks to a role, wouldn't it be helpful to do an automatic or as possible automatic notification on the mailing list, so everybody of the people who are elected to make decisions on their tasks are aware of that, and then everybody is responsible, and at least one need to check, and then it could be added to the agenda of the next standard meeting to be discussed there if nobody did an action before. Yeah, I would agree to Emilia. It's hard to fulfill all these community tasks and responsibilities, and we can be happy that people already taking that amount of work for a year or an election period, and finding people will not be easier if there is more work to be done. And by the way, in the Doptium working group, these certification requests are fully automated, so they get checked automatically via an API. So you upload your compatible implementation, your Java runtime to that marketplace, and these checks are automated, and I think fully automated in as I remember that. I didn't do that because I'm not a vendor of Java implementations, but yeah, implementing such an API on the back end to do these checks automatically would be the perfect solution. And maybe that's something that is missing on the Jakarta side too. And a potential collaboration with another working group, the Doptium working group.
Jan, can we fork the tooling? Can we see it? Can you share it via the working group and point us to the kind of testing that has been added to track and to tackle the task?
Yeah, I can try to find out for the next meeting some details on it, some links, and then I can give feedback on that.
Yeah, but my feedback is don't wait for the next meeting. Send it via writing. Say, hey, we discussed today, no rush. But send it via writing. It's just so wonderful to read it before the calls.
Yeah, when I have the time, I can send the links on the mailing list before. But yeah, as I'm not a user of that API, I need to find out some details and talk to other people. But as I remember, that was a huge amount of work to implement that. But at the end, that was successful. But there were so many implementations for so many environments that task cannot be handled manually in the Doptium working group. Therefore, it got automated.
Yeah, if it can be, is at first I think sending emails, and I suspect may not generate much interest. I do agree, if things can be automated, that's a great way forward. So it's
And that could be a joint effort with the Jakarta people too, because it's missing there too. And
yeah, absolutely. All the manual process, so it's quite tedious. So that's why it's kind of,
This is great feedback. How about Ed, Luis, Martin, Roberto, Emerson? Thoughts? Ed, you are muted, but we don't hear you.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Did you get to my
No, that's next.
No. Okay. it's about it. Do you have any thoughts about this topic?
No, I think
So
no update.
Yeah, so let's Jan, if you could take a note on what your proposal is, and then maybe this could be another topic for the technical call.
Yeah, I add something here, and then we can discuss on the next technical call.
And
Yeah,
I will
just-
be
just-
repeating myself. Please expand the knowledge. Use writing. Let's definitely, you know, let's be a little bit boring with write-ups. You know.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next topic. Ed, Brett.
This is, yeah, sorry. This is here mostly just to raise awareness, right? We've had some customers that have been using, that got onto our new version of Peloton, and we found an incompatible change in 5.1.1 of metrics. I believe we're trying to get a PR submitted. I just need to get this, make sure there's awareness of this. It's kind of surprising it didn't come up before, because it's definitely an incompatibility, but oh well.
So it's not going from 5.0 to 5.1, it's going from 5.1 to 1.1.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, yes. So it's and this is a standalone spec in MicroProfile 6. So I don't think there's a big ripple effect. We just need to get this resolved.
Okay.
So
Emily,
this has
I don't know
already been-
if you could help us help us coordinate this with the committers on the group. Be great.
yeah, so yeah, I saw the issue. So the David already self-assigned to himself.
Yeah, we saw that.
So I will double check with him and find out whether we need to do a kind of 5.1.2 to ratifying this, or if okay. So has Thomas got a PR ready, or this is just like start a conversation? I have not seen a PR.
So right, so we're still working on that. We just want to make sure we're coordinating with the right people.
Okay, yeah, that's fine, and I will monitor this issue as well. So, and then
Great.
we discuss the release forward. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Right. Thank you. That's really all I had for this item.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Ed. Okay. Let's see. This is OCX. Emerson. Let's see. Do we have it? I have it down in marketing. Okay.
I think Jan wants to talk about it.
Yeah, I added these points.
Yeah,
The
okay.
second one.
Go ahead and yeah, go ahead, Jan.
Yeah, regarding the conference topics, just a reminder, the OCX this year in Mainz, formerly known as EclipseCon, has still an early bird offering that is ending soon on the 25th this month. There's a link and details on the mailing list that was shared yesterday on the Jakarta mailing list and on the Google groups of MicroProfile. And we found out that the MicroProfile mailing list and the Adoptium mailing list were missing. And in Adoptium, it was only announced on Slack. So here's a chance to register for that event with a discount. And then the next point, the CFP for the Jakarta 1 live stream is still open. So if you want to submit, something to that, you can find the link there too.
Are you,
there,
Jan, sorry
yeah.
about this. Are you participating as a reviewer of sessions for Jakarta 1?
No, I'm not part of the program committee. I'm part of the program committee for the Java track on that OCX, but not on the Jakarta live stream.
Okay.
But Tanya is requesting for some interesting sessions. So we announced that in the Jakarta meeting today on the platform call, and I want to repeat it here. So if you have something interesting to share and want to do that in that remote session there, then please send it via the CFP link. Then,
is there a plan?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jan. Is there a plan for Jakarta 1 to send messages to the community forum about sessions so that it reaches the members interested in the technology? Do you know? I know you are not you know.
Yeah, I didn't know if I think Tanya mentioned that at least on the Jakarta platform call earlier, as the CFP was opened. I don't know if we had any mails on the mailing list on the MicroProfile side. Yeah, just she asked me to spread the word about that opportunity in the MicroProfile community. So I do it. Yeah, I think I expect the recent MicroProfile releases on the umbrella spec and component specs would be a great talk that would be wanted there for sure. There's still some time. It's on the 3rd of December to prepare the details. Then the DevNexus will have a separate Jakarta EE track, as far as I know. There, the CFP is open until the 22nd. Emily mentioned that, and unfortunately not myself, but Ed reminded me that the CFP for the JavaLand next year is open until the 25th of this month too.
On this Jakarta in the Nexus, where they have the track, I do have I do not know, but I do have a concern about this part, because when there is a block of sessions and all other sessions get dropped and lost within the conference, sometimes to help focus, we do a disservice. And I'm not sure. I wish Vince or Pratik were here. I forgot to ask Pratik when he was at my house on Friday, and this is technology, but I think this is a follow-up for them to say, if MicroProfile and other technologies that are Java related try and they don't get accepted to the 10 for Jakarta EE, will they be dropped or not seen any other well? Have you noticed, or do we think about how, partnership help? And sometimes, like this is something that I consider, right? For all the things in partnership that we do, especially with conferences, DevNexus is the best one in the United States, hands down, and the biggest one in the Java community. So I think this is something that I could own the task to ask Vince and Pratik,
Yeah, I can only speak for the conference where I'm part of the program committee, and of course, to my knowledge from IJAC about JavaLand, and of course, when there's a Jakarta track and named as that includes definitely MicroProfile, and that is welcome to get content on that side. For sure on this. I cannot speak for DevNexus, but the Atlanta JAC is a well-known member or former member. I don't know, they left or switched to a guest state.
They are a full member.
Yeah, then yeah, of
Sorry,
course.
I'm going to interject
Yeah.
here a little bit and just let's see if we can quickly close this down and get on to the next topic. This is probably a marketing. At this point, it's becoming a marketing call discussion.
Yeah, so let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is a good point. If you're interested, please make submissions and well, I'll leave it at that. So I'm going to move on to the next topic, which is budget. I think Emerson, you had you had an action item to chat with Clark about where we're at with the budget. Have you had a chance to do that?
The last time was in April. That was the last response I get, but just a little rough estimated. I put that in the ticket on July. And after that, I haven't get anything. The last thing was estimated that we have 5,500 available for the 2024.
Can you add a link to this issue with the sorry, add a link to this line with the issue that you're referring to? The Git issue?
Right now.
Because we're gonna have to September, October, November, December. We got 3.5 months to spend down where we're at. Okay.
And the tutorial is also in the budget. I think it's carryover from 2023. So getting that work to end a job and paying the supplier would be a good outcome.
Yeah, so Emily, you had chatted with Tarun. I think we agreed that he should probably come back to the marketing meeting if possible. But I looked at the issue this morning and I didn't see any updates in the marketing Git issue 847. God, it's scary. I remember the Git issue number in the marketing alias, but sorry, in the marketing Git repo.
So
Have you had? Do you know what the
sorry.
status is there?
So yesterday after the marketing call, I sent Tarun basically a reminder for him to come to this call. I just got a response from him an hour ago. He said he couldn't make it to today's call, but he's actively working on the tutorial. He said he will join next week's call.
Okay, in
Yeah.
2 weeks, but okay. Okay.
Said he will join
All right.
next week's call. No, next the technical call. He said. The
Right.
next.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he hasn't updated the Git issue yet, but he is working on it. So that's good to know. Okay. So that's I think Emerson, you've also got an AI around OCX expectations. I think you were going to contact Clark about that.
That is also in another ticket linked to the one I think was started yesterday by Ryan. So I
started a ticket. We didn't actually create a ticket when we originally discussed it, but I created the ticket. So yeah, the question then is you know, are you going to be able to reach out to Clark on this?
Yeah, I can, but I would need to be clear with what I'm trying to ask, because the last time we were asking for the receipts from DevNexus and things, but they never came out about that. Just give me the rough estimated. So what is next about the how much we have
Emerson.
About budget right now? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So Emerson, we need to know if the 2,500, the MicroProfile was charged for events, is going to be used in this event. Is this one of the events that money gets expended on? And if it is, what does it buy us? What is the value of the 2,500? Should it be used in OCX?
Okay.
Yeah, and then are there any expectations of us as well?
Correct. Correct.
So it's kind of bidirectional, right? You know, what are they? What does the Eclipse Foundation need from us to participate in OCX?
So two questions, and I don't think maybe John, I think, wrote it in the ticket, but if he didn't, Emerson, pull us in, we can clarify it.
Yeah, here's the ticket, and sorry, I'm not logged in to get into this browser. I guess it expired. It's in. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The
this
973.
is. Yeah.
And we were lazy, so we copy paste whatever was the discussion and the write up in the minute
In the
and
marketing call minutes. Yeah.
in the marketing call, but I didn't read it. I do not know what it was, but hopefully this feedback allows you to go back and rewrite it in a manner that you understand that can be traceable for your conversations with the Eclipse Foundation.
There. Yeah. Here we go. And I just added in the browser. I am authenticated with Git. I just added this. Are there any expectations of MPWG, right, of us?
You have a
as
question,
well.
then. Paul being here, what do you recommend to go ahead and just ask straightforward to Clark using the tickets, write an email? What is the best approach? Figure out that.
Thus far, you have Emerson, whatever you see fit. If you want to communicate with Clark in private, so be it. If you want to communicate with Clark in CC, the working group, so be it. It is your prerogative. You are the community committee rep. It is your choice. And if the foundation has feedback for you on how to communicate with them, do so. But I do know that the foundation has so many projects. And if we write it in the ticket and pull Clark just in the tickets, that is not fair to Clark. So write up emails will be my first choice, and I will do so publicly. Pull Clark into two CC, but that is my prerogative. You can do it privately, and you can ask Clark, how do you prefer to be contacted? Move on.
And feel free to point to link to this Git issue as well, right? Say, this is where we're discussing it. If he wants to respond here as well, that's welcome.
Yeah,
and
that's
Emerson,
basically what I try to do.
Yeah.
And I try to summarize in the tickets whatever when they are back to me, like the other one just showed.
Yeah. And Emerson, great question, because we want to make sure that you are comfortable. Saying no is always great. Working with someone else that prefers to work in the public, I think we meet in the middle. Some people like me prefers not to talk in private. I can talk with private, and you have seen me because I do it with you a lot, but it's in your terms, and then you go in public, right? So use that finesse, because some of us don't have it, but I think you do have it. So thanks for the good work mediating.
Yeah.
Jan, go ahead. Oh, sorry, Emerson. Go ahead.
No, I will be back with anything that's I can get on that.
Okay.
Yeah. iJack will have a booth on that event. So if you want to share some MicroProfile information, swag, etc., that can be done in collaboration with iJack too. Maybe some of the other members have booths too, so that would be an opportunity. Not having a single booth and then no stuff for that booth because of traveling expenses and things like that. So that's a low footprint opportunity that we did in the past on that event for Jakarta and MicroProfile and Adoptium too. as a community booth. And that booth is recently booked and accepted. So for details, you can also ping Tobias Frech from IJAC. I can write his name.
And this is something we could also follow up with in the next marketing call. So Jan, I don't know if you're gonna make the next marketing call, but looks like there's a couple of items that would be helpful if you attended that one.
That is next week?
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, okay.
So the other thing,
yeah. Oh, go ahead, Emily.
Emily?
the first thing we need to find out whether we can use the the marketing fee, the event fee, to see whether we'll be able to get a boost. If not, I think that this is a good backup plan.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that is what Emerson is going to find out.
Yeah.
What do we get, and then move forward. If we get a booth, do we print T-shirts? You know, all the stuff. Jan, you can copy paste this section into the marketing if should you join, or we can trace it. You know, you're very involved in the event. It's helpful.
Yeah, I try to be on the next marketing call. Cannot promise it yet, but I need to check my calendar. But yeah, if you can add it to the agenda, and I'm happy to link you to Tobias if you don't have his contact details. I need to check the details with him too, because he did not attend the meeting about that topic with the organizers today. So I'm not on the last date, but they told me that that booth setup is accepted and the design is fixed and all the other things. And I can talk with Tobias before that marketing call.
Okay. I am going to move on to the next, to the last topic, which is a status of where we're at with the specification page updates. So I think there's been some work done, maybe on REST client, Emily.
Yeah, so it's kind of Ryan has done all the page creation, drafted out, and then it's kind of a few of us have been reviewing it, and then it's kind of this looks good. So there's a few kind of comments and etc. If you click on the John, can you go back and you can know this page?
Sorry, I got things popping up on me.
Go to issue
Okay.
and go down again. Go, yeah, stop there and then click on the MicroProfile.io specification REST client. Yeah, you need the password. There.
Slack it to me. You can't. We're recording.
Yes,
That's
I was
fine.
going to say.
Yeah, it's in the Git issue, so this is pretty much is not no harm.
It's
okay.
no. Only admins can destroy the website. With the password, just shows you.
Yeah,
it's public. Everyone can see the work and provide feedback.
so it's all in here. Is the kind of the things that you see the yeah right.
Okay, here it is.
It's the only admin can log into that anyway. So you enter it. So it's basically this is what it's like. So it's only a couple of things that need to be done. Basically, this is we need to create an overall REST client page and list. This is the particular just for the O. So Ryan is kind of working on that. So it's yeah. So getting there.
Emily, I see that the nice features to have not been implemented yet. I did provide the feedback and the main ticket of in the calendar for each page, so that minutes, calendar, things that are stable. But those are nice to have afterwards. They
Yeah,
will be
so-
added.
So that will probably not go to this individual release page. That will go to overall page. So this page is for the all. So there will be
Mhm.
overall rest of the client page. So that information for the meetings and etc. will go to that page. Yeah. So
Emily, go ahead.
So Ryan, yeah, I will work with him and to have this like a top level page created, and then is have a manual item added, and then that's pretty much done. And then we will work on the standalone pages, standalone spec pages. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Minnie.
John, thank you for sharing. Can you go up, please? And thank you. Okay, so I saw an email come in from, not email, a ticket come in from Ryan, and I thought we had already figured out how to do the landing page, but based on the ticket, it seems that something got lost, and now we're back to zero with the landing page for the for these specifications, to house these specifications. Do you know about that ticket? Because the landing page, we discussed it months ago.
Not sure. I'm not sure which landing page you're talking about. Are you talking
the
about?
one that
Is it to replace
yes.
projects or something like that?
Oh, the
That-
project.
Yeah, so exactly.
No, I'm
So
not
all of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Emily, just a reminder for you. All of the landing page will be a specification
Yeah.
under project closed, and the resources for the time being, and we move forward. This was agreed multiple times. We discussed it. So projects replaces specifications. We move that to resources, and then that's it. And I believe that a drop down, or we can create a main page, something that is scalable. Ryan can give us feedback. Once Ryan starts doing things, he will notice what is not scalable. Because in the future, we will want is for GitHub to feed all this information and automate. We want this. Right now, we are working on it, but clearly, we want it to be autonomous. That means that GitHub will have the tooling to feed the information, right? But in the meantime, we are working all together to create what we like, figure it out what's not, and move forward. But is it possible for you to clarify this maybe in the newest ticket Ryan created? Because I left the call yesterday when this topic came in, and I'm not sure what happened then. So just want to make sure that there is no blockage.
I think
Thank you,
Ryan,
Emily.
I don't know what you are asking me to do. I think
Yeah, that is it.
Ryan,
Yeah.
sorry, let me finish. I think Ryan know what he's working on, and I will Slack him to make sure he knows what's happening.
Yeah.
And then getting a landing page plugged in. I think we should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. John, can you open please the ticket, the last ticket and the marketing side, so that maybe we can see what Ryan. Yes, the last ticket. I think he created it. I saw it come in, but it's okay. There we go.
Oh yeah. So this page specifications.
The landing page. So I saw this come in. So I'm not sure what happened yesterday. I thought we discussed this and it was already resolved. So hopefully the feedback is able to unblock Ryan, right?
I think this will be the page when you click telemetry, and then we'll go to the basically the page Ryan is going to create. Anyway, I know what you are talking about now, so I will basically follow up with him offline to make sure.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, that's fine.
It sounds so amazing.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
Looks good. I just have to brush up on my Latin. That's all.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I
right.
didn't know that.
We're at the top of the hour. So next week is the technical call. In 2 weeks, we are going to have the steering committee call. So I'll be sending out reminders and update the calendar for that. So thanks everyone for we had a lot of topics today. Thanks for joining, and see you, if not next week, I'll see everyone in 2 weeks.
Bye, everyone. Good to see
Bye for
some
now.
smiley faces. Kisses.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.